Hi, everybody, and welcome once again to the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3. And Sam and I are very happy to welcome to the program the head football coach at CHS, Justin Jackson.
Yep.
Justin, thanks for joining us.
Appreciate you guys having me on.
You got some good things going at CHS.
Yeah, quite a few, yeah.
Sam, kids look pretty good against Richmond.
Quite a game against Richmond. Held on, worried me a little bit there in that fourth quarter.
You weren't alone.
But win by 6, had been up 22, I think, earlier in the quarter, but in the fourth quarter, but did what they needed to do to win. And 2 weeks in a row, I was very impressed, Coach, with in both games, last week against Muncie Central and this week against Richmond, time management and clock management that your kids against Muncie Central able to run that clock down and get the win late with 30 seconds, and then against Richmond, able to get the ball back and eat up that clock and do what they need to do to hold on for the win.
Yeah, I mean, that was something that we knew kind of going into both games, that we were going up against very powerful offenses, and that if we were going to have any sort of success, we were going to need to limit how much they had the ball, how long they had the ball. So draining that clock became of the essence there, especially late in both games.
Both weeks had inclement weather, rainy, cold, but seemed to work out all right for the guys.
Yeah, definitely. We handled the weather very, very well. I was actually kind of surprised with we didn't have any major fumbles or big interceptions or anything like that. There were a couple times on Friday night where Richmond was really kind of gunning after Seaford. He was fighting for some extra yards, and we saw him kind of getting in there trying to claw that thing out, but he did a really good job of holding on to the ball when he needed to, which he did all Friday night. So
yeah, he's a man out there.
Yeah, I think my offense coordinator told me he cracked the 1,000-yard mark there last Friday night. Great. So we're happy for him with that.
Yeah, he just keeps grinding, and here late in the season, you could see it. Even in the games that we weren't as successful, kind of in the second half of the season, things just seemed like they were going our way. Even though it took us a while to get the wins, it took us till sectional time. Yeah. But yet I saw improvement.
Yeah, I mean, you look at that slate after the Rushville game where we're going Simon Kent and East Central Lawrenceburg. Those are 3 really tough games. Yeah. And, yeah, of course, you look at the score and you think, well, man, they got blown out a lot. But I think those are 3 games where, yeah, we took our lumps, but we learned a lot from that as well. And then we kind of got things rolling a little bit with Batesville, even though the score ended up being 40-12 in the end. It was a game where we were competing with them. We didn't get mercy ruled, and then that kind of helped us go into Muncie Central and Richmond.
Yeah, the kids, when they were down, never saw them hanging their heads. They just kept playing.
Oh, yeah, no, we fought as well as we could these last 3 games, especially you look at the Muncie Central situation where we were down and we weren't really moving the ball as well. We had our one play where we scored, and we didn't punch it in there till the end. There were plenty of opportunities where they could have said, well, that's it. That's the season. They got us on this one. But we fought there to the end and scored with 30 seconds left in the game, and it was good enough to win, so we'll take it.
I'll put our schedule up with anybody's in this area.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you look at the guys that we have to go up against. I mean, you're talking about 3 of the conference teams are actually in a sectional championship game this weekend, So we play in a very, very good conference. We play against really good competition. And, yeah, we take our lumps during the season, but I think, here in the last couple playoff games and even last year in our, sectional win against Muncie Central, it came out and kind of let us know that, we'd been through some tough times, but we're able to get through some tough times as well.
A lot of enthusiasm with kids, enthusiasm in the community, and hopefully that carries over. We still got football to play, but carries over the off season and next season as well to maybe get some more people that want to come and play Connersville football.
Yeah, definitely. You're coming into the first ever sectional championship that we've played in. And, I even had a bunch of kids come up to me in school today and were congratulating me, and they were congratulating some of the players. So it's good to see that buzz about football, and it's not just like, oh, well, football's over once playoff time comes. We're actually in there battling. So we're hoping it'll help us pick up some kids over till the next season.
Be nice to, I know some schools don't, during tournament time, don't schedule basketball games on Friday nights.
Yeah.
During tournament time. It'd be nice if we got to that situation as well.
Yeah, we would love that. I would love that personally if, all of our sports can just kind of be like, hey, got this sport until this certain time. And, we plan for football going to the end of November, basketball going to the end of March, and baseball going to the into June and July. So,
Yeah, sure would.
yeah.
Yeah.
The boys got off to a good start in the Richmond game.
Yes.
Nothing like being ahead and not having to play catch up.
Yeah, definitely. I really think that's what kind of helped us there in that game is that we went into the second time playing Richmond knowing that we were not going to probably win in a shootout going back and forth with them because it didn't really work for us the first time. So going in at halftime with the lead and then being able to kind of extend that lead, there was never a point in time where we thought, well, we got these guys beat, they're going to tuck tail and go away. We knew that they were going to play hard till the end. And
Yes.
it was kind of one of those things where it's like, hopefully we can contain them long enough and contain them until the clock runs out, which is what we were able to do.
Was an impressive win, Coach. And congratulations to you and all the kids.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now you're up against a team called Mount Vernon.
Yes.
The Marauders. No common opponent,
No.
but they play a pretty good schedule. Shelbyville, New Pal, and
Yeah.
some of those teams.
Yeah, they play some really good teams. Their conference is pretty stout as well, and they're very, very good team. So we're looking forward to it this Friday.
Are they a running team, or what are you expecting out of them?
Getting them on film, they're a little bit of everything team. They're
Okay.
good. They've got a quarterback. I believe he's a third-year starter, so they put a lot on him. They do a really good job of dispersing the ball running-wise amongst their running back and getting it out to their receivers and stuff. So they're one of those teams where they're not exceptionally great at one thing. They're really good at pretty much all of it. So they make you play honest.
How did they advance to the finals of the sectional?
They were able to beat Pendleton Heights in the first round, and then they beat Greenfield Central last week.
Okay. And your kids are ready for them?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we'll go into it. We're going to prepare like we do against everybody else, and we're going to treat
Sure.
it just like a normal week and drive up to Mount Vernon and try to come out with a victory.
What's the key to a victory?
I think the key is probably playing mistake-free football. We're going to be going up
Yes.
against a team like the last couple weeks who's going to have us in some skill areas. They have some very talented athletes. So I think that we have to minimize our mistakes and make sure that we can capitalize on theirs
Yes.
when they make them.
Hopefully you can force mistakes.
Hopefully, yes. That'd be nice, you know. But they're a very well-coached team. They play very efficiently. So it's going to be tough to make them make those mistakes, but hopefully they give us a couple.
What kind of facility at Mount Vernon?
See, the last time I went up there, it was really, really nice. They'll have a turf field.
Okay.
They got a pretty good setup up there as far as the way it looks and stuff. So
You prefer a turf field or grass?
I prefer a grass field if it's a nice grass field, like if it's well taken care of. I think that Brian Edgecombe, our grass field, I think
Yes.
is one of the best in the area. And it's a little beat up now, especially after that Muncie Central game. But if we got a nice grass field like we have, I'll take that. But if some of the grass fields have been on before, the turf will be a little bit better. But,
Sure.
you know, it's kind of if or. You know, there's good things about them. There's bad things about them.
A win Friday will put you where?
We will end up being, I believe, 4-8 for the season.
And your opponent in a regional would be?
It will either be the winner of Chittard or Cathedral. So two Indianapolis Catholic school teams. But the good thing is that we will be hosting the regional, so they'll have to come here, yeah.
Okay, well, that's great. Either one would be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll teach those Indianapolis schools a lesson.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Back several years ago when Coach Radke was here, Carmel came to town and they went home with the tail between their legs, so it can happen.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
right. Everybody okay health-wise?
Yeah, we're actually kind of weird. We're getting healthier as the season goes on. We've had an offensive lineman, Cody Hogger, who has been out for a couple months, I think. He's had some hip issues, actually just got cleared last week. So
Good.
he'll have enough practices in this week. The only real injury that we've had has been Braxton Myers, who's had a knee injury that's kind of cost him his season. You know, he's getting better, and he'll be back for basketball and baseball season coming up. But we've actually been lucky in that we had a lot of injury issues more towards the middle of the season, like weeks 4, 5, 6, and then now we pretty much got everybody back healthy except for one.
That's good.
Yeah, no, it's lucked out that way. I've never really seen that happen before.
How do you account for the change in the Spartans, how they suddenly got on the winning side?
Well, I think, going back to that, kind of slate there against Simon Kent and East Central and Lawrenceburg, when you go up against teams like that, and yeah, we got beat pretty handily, but we came out of it alive and realized like, oh, okay, they're just like us. They play like us. They may be a little bit bigger, a little bit faster, but if we go out there and play hard, that we'll be able to do it. And, you come into a game like Batesville where we're playing back and forth, and I think that last year beating Muncie Central helped out a lot, and this year thinking that, this is definitely a team that we can play with and beat. And then looking at Richmond as well, I think that first game, that was the one loss that we had this year where we were in that game. We were going back and forth. They pulled away there at the end a little bit, but that was definitely a score that wasn't really showing what the game was. So we had guys that definitely believed that they could go out there and win these last two games, and their effort showed it.
In addition to playing hard, you guys are playing smart.
Yeah. I mean, we're playing as smart as we can. We've got a lot of guys going both ways, trying to find some younger guys to fit into some positions as well. But, yeah, we're doing a pretty good job with that.
I'm impressed with the company you're in the conference. Here you got East Central and Lawrenceburg, the only guys remaining in addition to the Spartans, right?
Yeah. So we got 3 conference teams that can win sectional championships.
Pretty good company, right?
Oh, yeah.
Sam?
Yeah, real good company. Talking about changing things up, you recovered an onside kick the other night.
Yes.
Which I thought was huge, something that I don't remember seeing a Spartan team doing that since I've been doing football, and I've only been doing football for about 10 years now.
But. Yeah, I've gotten a little ballsy here in the last. We've done 3 onside kicks in the last 3 weeks. So with Batesville, going back 3 weeks ago, we saw something on film that we thought we could get, and we tried, and it worked out perfectly, just the way Nolan was able to kick the ball. With Muncie Central, we tried one, didn't really work out for us. When we got into that situation on Friday, we were up 2 scores at that point. We had scored the first touchdown of the half, and I had told the guys in the locker room, hey, we're going to go out here, score. We're going to get the ball back again. So being able to go out there, and luckily I think the weather helped us out quite a bit, and that their front line couldn't really get a good handle on the ball and bounced around a little bit, and we were lucky enough to fall on top of it and have some right guys in the right places. But, yeah, I mean, you look back on that being pretty huge for us, because if we're not up 3 scores, we're either going into overtime or maybe they get us there in the end.
It's definitely a great play, and I don't think Richmond was expecting that at all, and out of our team.
No, I think it was kind of one of those perfect opportunities to call that play. It was kind of people were thinking, oh, you're up 2 scores now, you'll get the ball back and try and not give these guys the short field. But we were going to try and make that margin as wide as we possibly could before they got revved up on offense.
What'd you tell your kids there in the fourth quarter early? I think 11-something to play in the game. We scored and went up 22 points, and then Richmond started coming back. What'd you tell your kids?
Just keep fighting. I mean, we knew that they have some exceptional athletes there, and they were guys that, one-on-one, it's going to be very tough for us to handle. So when they started scoring, it wasn't really one of those, oh, here we go things. It was, hey, we worked our tails off these first 3 quarters in order to get this lead. So now let's just hold on to it. Defense was doing everything that they possibly could, and defensively we did about everything we could to keep Marquise Johnson from getting the football, and then they just started handing the ball to him in the backfield, and we didn't really have an answer for that one, because once you start to try and take that away, it opens up all the other ways that we were trying to prevent him from getting the ball. And then offensively, it's just saying, hey, you guys got to go out here and grind it out. And, I mean, you can look at our offensive line, especially there in that fourth quarter, being able to just kind of take over and control the game and get us some substantial yards on the ground and allow us to run that clock out.
Johnson, he's quite an athlete.
Oh, he's exceptional.
He's fast.
Yes, he is an exceptional athlete.
Yes, fun to watch, but it's more fun when we stop him.
It's fun to watch him on film when he's going against other teams, not so much when he's going against us.
Exactly.
He's their leading scorer, isn't he?
I believe
so, yeah.
Yeah. Who does Mount Vernon resemble as far as the Spartans have played this year?
I would say most likely East Central. You're going to see a very East Central-ish team.
You're from East Central.
Yes.
Sort of. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
And you brought some of East Central's luck to Connersville.
Yeah, trying to.
Nothing wrong with that, Coach.
No.
It was a great game, and hope the good following, good weather maybe Friday night, and
it's
people show up.
Looking like it'll be the first time here in a few weeks where we won't have rain. So I will definitely take that. I'm a little over the rain. I'm still getting over a cold from Muncie Central.
Sure.
With it, so But yeah, it's looking like it'll be somewhere in the 40s or 50s. It'll be a nice, cool night. Be nice and dry, so it'll be good.
I was pretty impressed with the people that came this past Friday night to Richmond.
We had a good showing.
We did
especially
for the weather conditions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if I were a fan if I'd have been in that. I don't handle the rain very well, so I don't know. But no, we did really well, and they came well and prepared. They had their tents, they had their umbrellas, so.
Had the caravan going up there following Spartan Express. Hopefully they'll do that again this week.
Yeah, might as well. Why not, right? It'd be a little bit longer of a trip, but not too bad.
But at least leave town that way.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Game time is 7,
Yes.
and Sam, you'll be there.
We'll be there. KMX will have it. We'll
Good
be on
deal.
there at 6:45 with pregame, and
Bring us a victory.
we will.
Yeah.
We will. We want to. I want to go on, keep doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be great to have the regional here and those Indianapolis schools in here.
Yeah, they'd have to
Quite a
come out
treat.
to our mud field right now and see
Yeah.
what's going on. They got those nice, pretty turf fields up there, so.
Yes, yes.
Come where we play real football.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, the kids are being congratulated several times for the showing and the way they've turned the season around. I'm impressed.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's good to kind of bookend the season with
Yes.
this. I think, as Sam was saying, to be able to go into the off season and kind of, build off this, and not, sometimes you have that early success and then you kind of flame out in the end, but we've kind of flipped that script. So it's nice to be able to try and, build up a little bit here as the season's winding down a little bit.
You care if we talk basketball for a minute?
Go right ahead.
Sam, the girls have a season opener right around the corner.
Yeah, they open up Thursday night with New Pal, at New Pal, and always a tough game. I think that though this is the first year that Coach Harder's been able to have her girls all year long
Yes.
in the summertime, kind of like Coach Jackson. He didn't last year with COVID restrictions and that type of thing. I mean,
Right.
this past year, this season, you've been able to have them in the off season and do the things you need to do, and she has too. That first year she was hired late, and then COVID last year, so this summer she's had a chance to work with her girls. And we
Good.
saw, and you saw it too, Fran, steady improvement from her kids
Yes.
from the time she got here, but especially last season. So looking forward to that. And then they have this, I don't know what they're calling it, but I call it a classic on Saturday at the Bowl, where at 10 o'clock we will play Decatur Central. Then at noon, Southport and Cardinal Ritter will play each other. Then that night at 6, Southport and Decatur Central will play, and we will play Cardinal Ritter at 8. So a full day of basketball. I think you can go buy a daily pass for that and just have a great day of basketball at the Grand Palace. I always have to get into that, we were recently voted the best high school gym in Indiana. So
Understand, yes.
yeah, I want to make sure
Well,
everybody understands
I think they were
that.
on the right track.
I think so. And then the following week, not sure which night it's on, but we go to Mount Vernon with the girls. So they've got a tough opening stretch here before they get into some conference play.
But coaches, you like tough schedules, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I think, when you look at Indiana high school sports, I think that's the best part of it, is that you've got that schedule during the regular season where you can go and test yourself. Like us with East Central, Simon Kenton, the girls basketball team playing Mount Vernon, the boys basketball team ends up playing Lawrence North and stuff like that. And on paper, that was something you look at in all three of those cases and probably say like, well, why are you guys doing that? But the good thing is that we can go 0-9 and win the state championship. They can lose all 20, 25 games they play and win the state championship as well.
That's
so
right.
if you're putting trophies in the trophy case, it really doesn't matter what that regular season record is,
Yeah, coaches say that. They say it's just a warm-up for the tourney.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Well, it's good to know that no one's in a world of hurt as we prepare for the ball game on Friday. That's always good. And that's attributed to the conditioning of the kids and things.
Yeah, I think, that's, I think, Sam talked about it actually having a real off season. This was the first time that we've actually been able to have an entire year in the weight room and work out through the summer. So they've been able to kind of acclimate their bodies to the beating. I think it's probably been a really good job by our coaching staff in practice as well, is that we've been able to kind of be smart with some players and know when to kind of pull back with some guys and maybe give some guys a little bit less. And then luck always comes into it too. I mean, we're playing a sport where bodies are getting mangled every single play. So we've just been lucky enough that nobody got twisted the wrong way too many times.
Who's on your staff, Coach?
We have Kyle Fisher is our offensive coordinator. We got some long-term guys that have been there, and Adam Keene, Ryan Lynch, Jason Morris. Paul Moore came on with us last year, and then we had a couple new guys this year, Damon Ling and Stuart Durham, that have come and helped us out as well.
That's great.
Yeah.
To have those kind of people on your staff.
Yeah, definitely. They've all been fantastic. I couldn't ask more from a coaching staff.
And a lot of, like you said, a lot of those long-term guys that know the kids and know their backgrounds from the time when they were little, too.
Oh, yeah.
So, and that has to help you in understanding, because there's personality involved and family that's involved in all this, too. And
Oh, yeah.
I think that the more knowledge they can impart to you, but you having been here 2 full years now, it's got to be coming to you.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's one of those things where when you're around a kid for a long, long time, you kind of get what buttons work to press against them, what buttons don't work, and like you said, those guys that have been here for a while, we got a lot of guys that, are coaching their kids or their extended families right now, so they're able to kind of know what works with them and what doesn't. Being a new guy, I come in a little bit not knowing that, and also being the head coach, I get to be the tyrant a little bit, and come in and shake stuff up to where they get to be more of kind of like the, build them back up type guys as well.
Good guy, bad guy.
Exactly,
kinda,
yeah.
How'd the junior varsity football team do?
We weren't able to have a junior varsity team this year just because of low numbers. We ended up having one game against Richmond at the beginning of the year, but we didn't have enough numbers to end up having enough game or to have any games. Every game we were looking at going in with 10 to 11 to 12 kids total. So we had to end up canceling the majority of our season just from a standpoint of, we don't want to go into a situation where we're putting guys in positions they don't play and things of that nature. So,
how many kids should you have to be available for a JV team?
We were, I think at the most when we played Richmond that first game, we had 14. And then after that, with some injuries at the varsity level, forced us to bring some guys up. We had some kids that decided to quit. So just kind of the normal attrition that you would get through the year. So then by the end, we were looking at around 9 to 10 kids. So we didn't really have enough to field a team there by the end.
But Connersville wasn't alone in that category, were they?
No, not at all. There were plenty of teams that, we were going up against where, they didn't have freshman JV squads as well, so.
Hopefully that'll change one of these days.
Yeah, I think what kind of hurt us a little bit this year was that we had a really small freshman class that came in, and last year we had a rather large senior class, so we kind of lost some kids through that. But it's one of those things, we're trying to work up numbers all the way from the youth level and push that stuff. So it's a process,
What about in the middle school? What's happening down there?
They had a good season. I think that they came out around 500. Had some wins, had some losses, but it was good to get those. We had a good group of kids that come out. We had a combined team again this year with 7th and 8th grade. I think we had around 20, 25 total. But, they did well, and, we look forward to getting them in the next year or two and getting them rolling as well.
Well, that's where you want to begin, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
These youngsters early, and hopefully they'll stay with you.
Yes, hopefully.
And good place to play football.
Yeah.
So we hope the future looks bright here at CHS.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we look at our program overall, and there's definitely a lot of things that we want to fix and we want to get better. But we see continued progress from last year to this year, and we're looking into next year and thinking that we'll see the same.
And you probably coming in didn't expect to turn this on a dime.
No, not at all.
It's a process.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you come in, that, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle, and you come in knowing that, we're probably not going to be winning too many games the first few years in, or maybe in the years after that. But, it's one of those things where you just kind of look for gradual progress year after year after year. I joked with somebody at the beginning of the year, and they said, well, what would progress be? I said, well, we won 2 games last year, so winning 3 would be progress, right? So technically we are progressing, right? I mean, and we're playing in the first ever sectional championship, and, we were in some games this year that, I think the score doesn't really show how well we played in some cases. And I think that when you look at our team from last year to this year, we lost quite a bit up front. We had a really, really good senior class with a lot of big kids in it this year. And we just don't have the linemen that we did last year. You know, we're younger, we're smaller, so we had to change some stuff there. But as far as how we had to change from this year to last year, I think that the kids did a really good job of getting into that. And, you know, here we are.
Brent, Doug, and I have talked about on the radio and on TV here that those kids are maybe thinking about playing, but for whatever reason don't. That I always like to remind them that they only have 4 years of eligibility, and 20 years from now they may look back and say, man, I wished I'd have played. So they ought to just go ahead and play.
Yeah, you might as well play everything you can, or everything that the coaches will let you play, or everything whoever, mom or dad will let you play. You know?
Once it's gone, you never get it back.
You ain't getting it back, no.
Yeah.
Not at all.
That's for sure.
Do wrestlers make good football players and vice versa?
Yeah, wrestlers make great football players. Big football players make great wrestlers. You know, we've been working with the wrestling program here the last couple of years to try and get some of our bigger kids in. In some cases, I can understand why they don't want to wrestle, because that is one of the most difficult sports I've ever been involved with. I wrestled in middle school, and that was enough for me. But it's good for them. You know, it gets in there. I think the best thing about wrestling is that it's you, it's that other guy. You can't say, well, so-and-so missed his block or so-and-so didn't make his tackle.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, it's on you. You know, and it's a tough, demanding physical sport.
Sam's not going to become a wrestler.
No.
Not anytime soon.
Not anytime soon.
Not your thing.
No. I remember doing it in PE class, but that was about it. Fran, if we could switch gears here a little bit.
Sure.
A little bit of a unfortunate situation happened on Friday, early Friday morning with part of our Spartan family, the Williams family.
Very unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Their house was set on fire, arsonists. There was racial slurs written on their back porch, on their back patio, and there's no room for that in Connersville.
No.
That is shameful. They're good people, they're good citizens, and we're better than that here in Connersville, and it just really hurts me, loving this community like I do, that something like that would go on. So coming up, this is we're taping this on Monday. On Tuesday, you can drop off any donations to the Williams family at the National Guard Armory from 6 to 8. Cash donations can be dropped off at City Hall, or you can go to the GoFundMe link on the Connersville City Facebook page. So if you'd like to help them out with a monetary donation or maybe household items, please look into your heart and see what you can do to help them.
It's very unfortunate, and I hope it's one of a kind. Doesn't happen again very soon. Have you been involved in anything like that, Coach?
Fortunately, no. I know Josh really well. I've had him in class, you know, and I love him having him around. He's a ball of energy, and I saw him at the game on Friday night, and he seemed to be in good spirits, you know, and you can only imagine what they're going through mentally right now. So we hope the best for them, and hope everybody is in the community is able to help them out in their time of need.
Well, I hope this is a one-only thing, and they catch the culprits and put an end to it.
Yeah, definitely.
Very good to have you join us, Coach.
Yes.
And the Spartans go for another victory, which would be very important.
Yeah.
For the school and for you and for the kids.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Program as a whole, it'll be great.
So let's hope for a good turnout by the kids and by the fans come Friday at Mount Vernon.
Sounds good.
Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
And go Spartans, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thanks, everybody, for watching this edition of the Spartan Sports Report here on TV3.